These could probably be the best substitute Joy-Con controllers for the price and their features. The standard Joy-Cons and the Nintendo Pro Switch controllers are the most used controllers for the Nintendo Switch. But are there any alternatives that are as good or maybe even better than those controllers? NYXI was nice enough to send me their version of the Joy-Con controllers. I've been using them for about a week now, and what a difference. In this review, I'll be going over some of the good features, some of the features that could use some improvement, and my overall recommendation. Alright, let's check out the good features of the NYXI Joy-Con controllers. If you watched any other review on these, I think the number one thing you'll always hear is the comfort. And each and every one of those reviews are right. The comfort on these are just amazing. They're just so good in the hands. They just fit so well. Now, compared to stock Joy-Cons, those aren't really ergonomically designed. I think when they designed them, they were going for more portability than anything because it's a portable device. But these though, the NYXI Joy-Con controllers, they just feel so good in the hand. They're not too small, they're actually quite large, and they're just very comfortable to use. There's a textured grip to them that make them easy to hold when your hand gets sweaty during those long gaming sessions. And during those long gaming sessions, I never feel my hand cramping or feeling any kind of fatigue. Comfort level is just a 10 out of 10 with these. Now, one thing you don't find in a lot of Joy-Con controllers is customizable RGB. I mean, it doesn't add any performance to the controllers. It does look quite nice when you're playing in the dark or a low light room. And these controllers definitely add some style with that bit of RGB around the joysticks. Along with the RGB, another feature that I like is the customizable buttons that they have on the back of the controllers. So with the back buttons, or not back buttons, but with the buttons on the back of the controller, you can essentially assign them to buttons from the front to act like shortcuts or even hotkeys. So on the back of the right controller, I can assign the A button. So when I'm gaming, I don't have to lift my thumb to press the A button, but rather just click the back button and I'm jumping, or whatever A button does. And same thing goes with the left side. I can assign any button on this left controller to act as a shortcut or hotkey on the back of the device. But one thing to note, that these back buttons can only work with the keys from that specific sided controller. I can't assign this back button to this controller, and vice versa. So just keep that in mind. Moving along, another feature that makes these controllers good is the way that you can use them as a controller separately. When you buy the NYXI Joy-Con controllers, they do come with a middle attachment, and you can basically turn it into a Pro controller or an old school looking Xbox controller for your Switch. Another feature that I like is that these controllers are able to turn on your Switch by either holding down the capture button or the home button. Sometimes when I want to game, I don't want to head to my Switch and turn it on. Just want to grab my controller and start playing. It just adds to that convenience. Now, the NYXI Switch controllers also have their own separate USB-C ports that allow each individual controller to charge separately. But they can also charge through your Switch when they're docked in as well. And the last benefit I could find about these controllers is the price. Currently, during this review, they're priced at $58.75 Canadian, which is $40 cheaper than your standard Joy-Con controllers. Alright, let's look at some of the features that could use some improvement. One thing you need to note about these controllers, they're not entirely case-friendly. Because of their shape and design, they won't fit into your standard Nintendo Switch case, because those were all designed for the standard Joy-Con controllers, and since these are a little bit wider and thicker, they won't fit in those. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking at getting these, you might have to put them in a separate bag or a little goodies bag while you have your Switch in a hard case. Another con about these NYXI Joy-Con controllers is that they don't come with bumper attachments like your Nintendo Switch controller comes with. But side note though, these are completely compatible with those. So if you have some lying around, or when your standard Joy-Con controllers are docked in, you can definitely use those bumpers on the NYXI Joy-Con controllers. Not so much of a con, but a nice to have. I think it would have been better if they had one USB Type-C charging port on the middle attachment to charge both controllers at the same time, rather than having to charge each controller individually or have two USB Type-C cables charging the controllers at the same time. But again, it would have been a nice to have because you could obviously just charge these straight into your Nintendo Switch when they're docked. These are my final thoughts on the NYXI Joycon controllers. Are the Joy-Cons by NYXI worth the price tag that they're charging? Just based on the comfort alone, I'd recommend getting the NYXI Joy-Con controllers. But I also don't think they'll replace your standard Joy-Con controllers because of the classic look that they have with the Switch. Now, if you play directly from your Switch controller, these will make your gaming experience a lot better with less hand fatigue so you can keep on gaming. They also have unique style to them with the RGB lighting around the joysticks. And compared to the standard Nintendo Switch controllers, they are cheaper. Leave a like if you found any value in this review, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cool.